Hello, everyone. It's Mega Champ again. And, just as promised, I suppose, this is my next video on my full thoughts on the two demos that were released on the Nintendo Switch, although one of them was also put on the PlayStation Network as well, because the game's coming out on PlayStation platforms too. It's coming out on PlayStation 4. Now, I don't know about PlayStation 5, but maybe. I don't know. But the two demos that were announced and released after the Nintendo Direct that took place on the 8th, so officially 10 days ago. Boy, how time flies. Obviously more demos were released on the Switch after the Direct than just these two, but these are the two that I played and were interested in the most. So these are the two that I will be giving you my sort of brief, full thoughts on. That, of course, being Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, if you couldn't figure that out already, just like before, and Octopath Traveler 2. So, those are the two demos that I played. And there's not really much for me to say, honestly, and like I said at the end of my prior video, these are just demos. So that means I'm not going to go fully in depth with everything that I did, or said during my Tales of Xillia Full Thoughts video, because they're just demos. When the full game is out and releases, or when I complete a full game, obviously, then I'll go fully in depth like I did for that video. But because they were just demos, there's literally no reason to, so I'm just going to give some general overview and on my full thoughts on the two demos. So, first of all, obviously, or first things first, the Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe demo. If you don't know what this game is, it's kind of obvious, really, but it's another Kirby game, but technically Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe is a port of Kirby's Return to Dreamland, obviously, which was originally released on the Nintendo Wii. So it's a port of that game, with some new stuff, obviously, a couple of new abilities, and after the, or during the Direct on the 8th, the new mode was also announced with the extra Magalore mode that takes place after the story. It's kind of nice when they do stuff like that, honestly, when they add extra stuff into games when they are ported. I don't know if it really counts, but like the Kirby Star Allies extra mode where you could play as the friends, or basically the copy ability versions of the friends, basically, you know, like Poppy Bros and stuff like that. It's nice when they do the extra stuff like that, so it's good that they at least tried to give it some extra stuff. I mean, they could have literally just made it a port and that was it, and probably would have gotten away with it, so it's always good that they at least try to put extra stuff onto it. Anyway, there's not much for me to say about the Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe demo. Honestly, it's basically a very general and basic demo, in all brutal honesty. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Seriously, I'm not. Don't come at me with your torches and pitchforks, Kirby fans. I'm a Kirby fan too. But it was a very general demo. I would say it's about a 30 to 45 minute demo, and I'm the type of person that likes to explore, so really it's probably shorter than that. There was a couple of things in the demo, like the Magalore Land, the Magalore theme park, that you could explore a little, which was basically the mini-game hub. I didn't play the mini-games because, first of all, I don't like mini-games. Sorry, I just don't. And second of all, I am extremely bad at mini games. So yeah, I just don't play mini games, and I don't like mini games, especially when you're really bad at them like I am. So I'm sorry I didn't really touch Magalore Land, the Magalore theme park with the mini games because I'm bad at mini games. So it's especially worse when you have to complete a mini game to continue in the story. That was my personal nightmare during Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, but we'll not get into that. But luckily, it's just an extra thing you can kind of do if you want to do it. It's nice that they did put all that in, don't get me wrong, but I didn't really mess around with it. I mean, there was only two mini games from what I saw. The ninja mini game and the blaster mini game, I think. I didn't play them, but that's what I saw when I explored the little Magalore theme park. The Everything else about the demo was just basically the actual first couple of stages of the main game, the story mode, basically. Although they did it in a very weird way, honestly, because the demo for the story mode was Stage 1, Stage 2, and Stage 5. Yes, you heard me right. I played the demo, trust me here. So Stage 1, Stage 2, and Stage 5, the boss stage with Wispy Woods, and despite everything, and despite that I wasn't using a guide, because I wasn't, I still managed to get everything in the first two stages, which actually surprised me, honestly, that I remembered that much, although, admittedly, Stage 1 and Stage 2 are not overly hard to get everything in those stages, so yeah, it is what it is, but it still surprised me that I managed to do it and remember how to do it, so, but the first two stages are not hard to do it, so. And of course, the stage 5 was the boss stage with Wispy Woods. I took some damage in that, but, it's been a while since I've played a Kirby game, and I still haven't played Forgotten Land yet, so it is what it is, I suppose. So, forgive me, whatever, I don't really care. As long as I win, that's really all that matters. I don't care how much damage I take, but, for the most part, it was a very basic demo, honestly. If you played Kirby's Return to Dreamland, that's pretty much all it was for when it comes to the story mode portion. It's nice that they added some extra stuff in the Magalore theme park, and they did add a couple of new abilities. I think one of the new abilities was in the game, but I didn't try it out. I'm sorry. I am good with certain abilities and not with others, so I believe it was the sand ability that was in the game, but I didn't mess with it or try it out. You can if you want. I believe it's one of the first couple of enemies in Stage 2 in the demo, but I used other things that I know that I'm at least slightly okay with, so that's the only new ability that was in the game, or at least in the demo. Obviously, there's the mecha ability, which they've been promoting, but that's probably going to be in the full game. But, the demo was fine. I mean, it's a very general, very basic demo. There's not really much to say about it. But at least they're trying to add some stuff to it from the original game, so it's not just a port, and it has at least some new content, like a new extra mode and stuff, and that's always nice. But I did enjoy it for what it was. Maybe a little too short, but most demos are. Well, Kirby ones are, anyway. But, it was fine for what it was. I enjoyed it, so, yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, I see you there, Octopath fans, with your torches and pitchforks. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I didn't enjoy the first game. I really am, although I'm not, because I didn't enjoy it. It was a disappointment. It was my disappointment of the year, but everyone's experience and feelings and thoughts are going to be different, okay? But Octopath fans, guess what? You can put down your torches and pitchforks, okay? You can, because guess what? Guess what I'm about to say. Yeah, the Octopath Traveler 2 demo, I will be brutally honest, it pleasantly surprised me. And that's a good thing, not a bad thing. See, you can put your pitches and tits. Wow, torches and pitchforks down. Okay, can't talk. You can put your torches and pitchforks down. See, I swear. Somehow I'm still probably gonna get crap, but yeah, the Octopath Traveler 2 demo pleasantly surprised me. It was much better than I was expecting. I mean, seriously, it was. I do still have some pretty major concerns and questions about Octopath Traveler 2, but I actually really did enjoy the demo, believe it or not. I don't know if it was the fact that I got extremely lucky with the stories that I chose. I mean, maybe it's possible. My luck is pretty crap. So it would be like literally the first time in a very long time that I actually got lucky when it comes to something. Anything is possible, obviously. I don't know if that's actually the case or not. But, sure, maybe. Who knows at the end of the day, but, the demo pleasantly surprised me. It really did. I chose for the first story, the warrior story, Hikari, and it pleasantly surprised me with how good it actually was. And I will admit, they did some pretty decent improvements for the character stories, or at least for the two that I played, which was the warrior, and then I went to the medicine person, whatever they're called. So I did those two first. And yeah, the story was actually pretty decent for the most part for the warrior and the medicine person. I'm sorry, I can't remember I can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, the warrior one was actually really good. I was surprised with how good the warrior one was, and the character for the warrior one. I actually ended up really liking the warrior character, so I definitely chose correctly for the first story. And even the second story, even though it was kind of a general amnesia story, was actually still interesting in its own way, with the information about the group that the person who makes medicine was affiliated with. So it was at least intriguing, or more intriguing than I was expecting. So yeah, and then after that I went to the merchant, and I was able to play a little bit of the merchant story, but right when it was time for me to, start doing their story through the field was when the demo expired, because you can only play the demo for 3 hours. It's strange, honestly, because when I played the Octopath Traveler 1 demo, I swear it was letting me play past 3 hours, but I don't know. Who knows anymore, honestly, but maybe it didn't, but I stopped around that time because I thought that's when it was supposed to stop. And when I played the Octopath Traveler 2 demo, I remembered a lot of the mechanics from the first game, so I did much better, extremely better, honestly, than when I played the original Octopath Traveler demo, because I had no idea what the hell I was doing, so what else would you expect? Of course I'm going to be crap and have no idea what the hell I'm doing, but I did this time, and it made me feel a lot better that I wasn't, stinking up the place or being crap, or however you want to put it. But yeah, I remembered a lot of the mechanics, so I did it much better. And I even was okay with some of the new mechanics, which is interesting to say the least. And in terms of additions, they didn't really do all that much. The camera moves around, kind of, when you do a ×3 boost attack, which is interesting, I suppose, and makes it a bit more epic, I guess, but that's everything that I noticed. But for the most part, I really did enjoy the Octopath Traveler 2 demo. Shockingly, I know, don't have a heart attack, Octopath fans, of me actually enjoying an Octopath thing, but yeah, it was much better than I was expecting. Hikari and Casti, the warrior and I still can't remember the name of it, but whoever Casti is, the person who makes medicine. But yeah, it pleasantly surprised me. It really did. But here's the thing, and here's the problem. um, I still have some pretty major questions and pretty major concerns when it comes to this game. I do. I really do. And the demo did not resolve them in any stretch of the meaning in any way whatsoever. I'm sorry, they didn't. And the trailers are not helping either. I've watched most of them. I might not have watched a couple of the more recent ones, but the game is coming out in a couple weeks or so, so there's really no point in me watching trailers anymore. But the trailers did not help matters. The original trailer from when it was announced back during the September Nintendo Direct made it seem like this was the case, but the newer trailers in the demo pretty much contradicted it entirely. So, yes, it's still a concern that I have, and that is, of course, two things. Do the characters interact more than how they did in the first game? And are the character stories connected to each other? Those are the two questions that I still have and still have concerns with. That the trailers are not answering. They aren't. If they are, then please point them out to me, because I certainly haven't seen them from what I have seen. And the demo definitely, because I did play the demo, the full 3-hour time limit that I had, the demo did not make it clear in any way whatsoever if the characters interacted more or if the character stories were connected to each other. They didn't. I'm sorry, they didn't. I played it myself. It did not make it clear at all. It just didn't. So I have no idea. Now, the characters did interact a little in battles, but that doesn't really count. I'm sorry, it doesn't. So, I mean during their actual stories. And when I went to chapter 1 for Casti, when I got to her as Hikari, they did not interact during her chapter. Now, admittedly and obviously, it was only chapter 1. Maybe that will change for chapter 2. I certainly hope it does, or I would suggest that it does, or it better as far as I'm concerned. Because obviously chapter 1 is just the introductory chapter. You have to be introduced to the character, their story, and why they are traveling. So yeah, I can let it slide for chapter 1, okay? I really can. Anything past that, not so much. Sorry, that's just how I feel. Not so much in any way whatsoever. So the demo did not get rid of my concerns at all. I don't know if the characters interact more than they did in the first game, and I don't know if the character stories are connected to each other. Those are still the two questions that I have and the two concerns that I have. I hope those questions are answered. I really do. I hope those concerns are swept under the rug or thrown out the window or whatever metaphor you want to use. And, I get solid answers one way or the other when I play the full game in probably a couple years. But as far as the demo was concerned, they didn't answer those concerns that I still had. So we'll see what happens. I am still extremely worried when it comes to this game. But I will admit, I enjoyed the demo for it a lot more than I was expecting, and even I will admit as much. Maybe I just got really lucky with the character stories that I chose, the first one, and then the second one that I went to. It's possible, but we'll see at the end of the day. But I do still have concerns about this game, and hopefully, my concerns will be gone when I play the full game, but for now I still have them. I'm sorry, I just do. But as far as the demo was concerned, it was pretty fun for the most part, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting. And I did better than I was expecting without a guide. So, yeah, that surprised me too, in a way. So, yes, I did enjoy the Octopath Traveler 2 demo, but I still have concerns. I'm sorry. I just have a lot of concerns when it comes to this game, considering the first game was my disappointment of the year last year. Can you blame me? Sorry, it's just the situation. So, but that's all. That's all for my thoughts for Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe demo and Octopath Traveler 2 demo. I did enjoy the demos mostly for the most part for what they were and what they showed. The Kirby one was a bit generic and not anything special, but it's fine. It's technically just a port with some extra stuff, so you kind of have to just keep that in mind. And then the Octopath Traveler 2 demo was definitely a lot better than I was expecting, and I will admit as much. I just have a lot of concerns about it still, and we'll see if my concerns are warranted or not, or if they are gotten rid of for the full game. We'll see at the end of the day. But until then, that's all. Unless another demo comes out between now and when I finish Tales of Xillia 2. I mean, I guess it's possible. Who knows? But until then, there's really nothing else I'm going to be doing unless anything gaming related happens, maybe. I mean, Pokemon Day is technically coming up, so if I feel like making a video about that, I will. Maybe not, because there's not much to say other than obvious Scarlet and Violet DLC, and there have been reports and quote-unquote rumors and leaks about something else coming out that I'm not going to play and just watch a playthrough of because this specific franchise frustrates me too much, but there's no way to know for sure until the event happens, so we'll see what happens at the end of the day, but until then, I don't know what my next video will be. Maybe my full thoughts on Tales of Xillia 2, otherwise whatever demo comes out next. So until then, or until I decide what my next video is, this is MegaChamp, once again saying next time I'll be providing you with more unlimited guidance. Have you put your torches and pitchforks down yet, Octopath fans? No? Well, I suppose that's fair. Sorry, it's just how I feel. I swear. Bye.